All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And breaking overnight, the tariff escalation continues as China has now upped its tariff on all U.S. imports from 84% up to 125%. Again, that's a tax on all U.S. goods brought into China. But it's a countermeasure that takes effect on Saturday after President Trump raised the tariff on Chinese imports to the U.S. up to 145%. The White House said 20% of that is a so-called fentanyl tariff. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 61 and on Fox 61 Plus. I'm Tim Lammers. It's going to be a big weekend for the UConn women. We'll have more on their victory parade in a minute, a parade that was rescheduled because of the weather. Good thing it wasn't supposed to happen today. Meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli joins us now on a snowy Friday morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is snowy and also rainy, soggy, raw out there. And as we move forward, we are going to see this begin to taper. But some of you, mainly in our higher elevations and closer to the Massachusetts border, maybe waking up with a little bit of dusting, maybe an inch or so, mainly on those grassy surfaces. I'm not overly concerned with the roadways at this point, but of course we'll keep you posted and an eye on that. Right now, a quick burst of snow happening over towards 202 over in Torrington and northwestern Connecticut. Take a closer look in south of Litchfield towards Morris and just north of Watertown right now. Otherwise, we will see that rain and snow begin to taper late morning, early afternoon. In southeastern Connecticut right now, temperatures are around 38 degrees, so you may see a couple of wet snowflakes mixing in, but as it falls on the ground, it's going to just melt. 35 degrees in Willimantic, 32 right now over in northwestern areas. So moving forward, that rain chance continues through at least the late morning. By the afternoon, we have mostly cloudy skies and temperatures will be in the lower 50s. Then we have more rain that moves in overnight tonight into first thing tomorrow. Tomorrow is soggy raw and it is also very chilly. Temperatures only in the upper 30s in the afternoon. There could also be a brief chance for some accumulation, mainly in our higher elevations, for some snow overnight tonight into tomorrow. Then for the day on Sunday, it's a better chance for a little bit more in the way of warmer conditions. Temperatures will be in the mid 50s. Sunshine comes out for our Monday, rather. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads this morning here at 6:02, we are looking okay across the board. It's a much quieter commute than yesterday at this time on 95. A live look outside over in New Haven this morning showing you that things are running smoothly on the roadways at this point. And you'll see that here just out by exits 44 through 43. Your drive times there, New Haven to Bridgeport, is about a half hour. No delays through Old Saybrook, northbound 95, Tim.
Rachel, thank you. Well, colleges across the country are saying that some of their international students are having their visas revoked, and it's apparently happened here in Connecticut. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle joins us live from the UConn campus in Storrs with details on some students who have had their immigration status reversed. Glenn.
Good morning, Tim. UConn sent a letter to students and faculty yesterday saying that the federal government has taken away visas from some international students. Now, we have been seeing these visa revocations play out nationwide. Secretary of State Marco Rubio recently said the U.S. has revoked around 300 visas. UConn has student, staff, and faculty from more than 100 countries, and the university says while the number of impacted students is small, the consequences are, quote, significant. UConn also says it's monitoring international students' records every day for any change initiated by the federal government. If there is a change, UConn will email that student and connect them with legal and campus resources. The university also established a rapid response team in February to help address these situations and changes in immigration policies. We're also seeing reports that students at Yale have had their visas revoked. We have not had that confirmed yet. However, we are checking in. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Reporting live in Storrs, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
Okay, Glenn, thank you. Moving on, today we'll wrap up week one of the Joseé Morales murder trial as he's accused of killing his girlfriend, Christine Holloway. Now, yesterday, two forensic science examiners took the stand. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson shows us what conclusions these examiners drew from the evidence and how it stood up to cross-examination.
Forensic scientists have one of the most important jobs after a crime was committed: find and analyze DNA based on samples taken from evidence. In day 4 of the Joseé Morales trial, 2 of these forensic scientists took the stand and shared their findings.
The Honorable Judge Murphy presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, everyone.
Michael Morganti and Kristen Maydell were the 2 forensic science examiners who analyzed substances from evidence produced by police. On Wednesday, the court showed bloody evidence found inside the home of Holloway, inside bins at Community Crusade for Children, and inside the trunk of Morales' car. Samples of bloodstains were then sent in for examination. The state also called upon FBI agent David Carney from the New Haven Violent Crimes Task Force, who analyzed cell phone data from Holloway and Morales the day of the murder.
I made the millions of copies of the errors that we were testing and looking at, and then it went on to be detected, and I made sure that at all of the locations that we test that a result was obtained, and that in fact it was a single source profile which was obtained.
Was it a male or female profile?
It was a female profile.
The DNA profile from item 4-1 is at least 100 billion times more likely to occur if it originated from Christine Holloway than if it originated from an unknown individual.
So for this time period, we have no data available from Ms. Holloway's phone, but for Mr. Morales from 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday morning on 12/2/2019, the device begins at 6:39 and 25 seconds a.m. up in the area of 6.5 Myrtle. You can see the zoomed in box on the right-hand side of the screen, and then travels south and then ultimately west towards New Haven.
Now, Special Agent Carney and the Violent Crimes Task Force obtained the data from T-Mobile and Verizon. Carney mentioned that because the crime was mentioned over 5 years ago, the Violent Crimes Task Force checked their data several times because technology has changed over time for those cell phone towers. In Milford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Jamel, thank you. And Fox 61 will be back in court later this morning for the next day of the trial. Of course, we'll have an update for you on the Fox 61 News at 5 p.m., but you can also stream the trial on Fox 61 Plus. So download it down to your smart TV right now so you can watch that for free later. Developing in Hartford this morning, police said a teenage girl was shot in the middle of the afternoon yesterday. Fox 61's Stephen Reels heard from witnesses at the scene and shares what we know so far.
Information continues to come in on what actually went down on Park Street. And while no one was killed, people nearby the crime scene told our crews this should serve as a wake-up call. A community in shock after this witness says gunshots rang out on Park Street in Hartford 3:15. He asked us to hide his identity for safety.
Ran over there and seen one girl was falling down, and she was shot in the thighs, left and right. I was scared.
Once officers arrived, they found the victim, a 17-year-old girl suffering from several gunshot wounds. At the moment, very little is clear about what led up to and happened during the incident. Hartford police say the 17-year-old girl was conscious and alert when she was brought to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say it appears the teen was not the intended target of the shooting. The Hartford Police Major Crimes and Crime Scenes Divisions are both investigating the incident, and anyone with any information is asked to contact them right away. Of course, we'll keep you updated on air and online as we learn more. In Hartford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
Stephen, thank you. All right, on to better news now. Husky Nation getting ready to celebrate yet another national championship. Hartford will host a victory parade and rally for the UConn women this weekend. Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is in Hartford with a look at what you need to know ahead of all the fun on Sunday.
What a great time here in Hartford. This city knows how to celebrate, and Sunday the Huskies will take center stage. It's time to party. This Sunday, UConn Nation will be in Hartford to celebrate the national champion UConn Huskies. The big day comes after a dominant performance in this year's NCAA tournament from stars like Paige Beckers, Sarah Strong, and Azzi Fudd.
Just your support has never wavered, and we're so grateful for that. And to be able to bring this home and share this with all of you, because we didn't do this alone, it means everything. So thank you guys.
The UConn women soundly defeated their rival, the South Carolina Gamecocks, 82-59 on Sunday to take home the trophy. It was title number 12 for head coach Gino Auriemma, who last hoisted the trophy in 2016. But the first for Beckers after 4 trips to the Final Four.
Just an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the whole entire journey, the entire 5 years I've been here, and however long everybody else has been here.
Sunday's parade will keep the streak alive for the Huskies. Fans will remember it was the UConn men who last made their way through the streets of Hartford in 2023 and 2024. Here's what you need to know to get in on the action. All the fun starts Sunday at 1. If you want to get a spot along the parade route, it will step off from the state capitol grounds, go under the Soldier and Sailors Memorial Arch, and then down Jewel Street before they turn onto Trumbull Street and head for the stage in front of the XL Center. The parade is expected to make it to the XL Center by about 1:30 when the rally will all get underway. And of course, we'll have teams there covering it all. In Hartford, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61.
You got it, Keith. Yeah, we'll have live coverage of both the parade and rally this Sunday. As Keith said, it starts at 1 p.m. You can watch on Fox 61, but also stream it on Fox 61 Plus and check out all of our UConn Huskies coverage anytime on Fox 61 Plus as it streams on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Well, Governor Ned Lamont has spoken up once again regarding President Donald Trump's federal funding cuts. This was the first of several planned discussions that Governor Lamont said it will hold over the next several weeks. Yesterday's meeting was more specifically about the impact of emergency response efforts should a natural disaster happen in our state.
I feel pretty confident that significant federal resources that are going in alongside our Connecticut dollars to rebuild our roads and bridges and rail I think will continue. At least we don't see as much jeopardy there, which is particularly good news.
In addition to talking about natural disasters, the group also touched on emergency preparedness for cyber threats and the response to COVID and any possible future mass illnesses.